So you appreciate that after balancing the account, you'd have to extract a trial balance, right? And you reckon that the balance could be a debit balance or a credit balance. So what we'll be doing in the trial balance is to put all those that have debit balances under one column and all those that will have credit balances under another column, right? But then what is a trial balance? So a trial balance is a summary, of all account balances in the books of account. So it means that if we have about 20 accounts, okay, we'll balance all of them and then summarize them in this trial balance. And in doing the summary, this is what you do. You write the name of the account, and if it has a debit balance, you put it at the debit column. If it has a credit balance, you put it at the credit column. Now, I believe you appreciate what the debit and credit balance is, because we said that the account has a debit balance if the debit side is more than the credit side. You can also use your balance carried down, brought down to identify whether the account has a debit or credit. So a debit balance account has the carried down, the credit side, and the brought down at the debit. Okay, so any account that has the brought down at the debit would have a debit balance. So if the brought down is on the credit side, then it is a credit balance on that account. So you see, for the balance brought down, the BD, if it's at the debit side, the account has a debit balance. But for the CD or carry down, if it is on the other side, you go the opposite of it. So if the BCD or the balance CD is at the credit, it means the account has a debit balance. That is how you can know your debit and credit balances from the account. Prof. Bridget, you are welcome. I haven't seen, let me check. I haven't seen your. Okay, Bridget has also submitted. Okay, great. So who is the last person to submit? Okay, let me quickly run through. I have, okay, Zoe. Zoe is the only person left, and I'm sure she's working. Okay, so professors, for a trial balance, it's just a summary of the account balance. So when you balance all the account, you summarize them, and this is how it looks like. So let's look at the format. You put the title trial balance as at, then you put the date down there. Okay, so if it is as at 31st December or 31st March or whatever, you put it down there. And then your first column will take the name of the account. So if the name of the account is cash, you put it cash, and then you check the balance on it. This has a debit balance, right? Because the BD is at the debit side. Or if you use the, which side is bigger? The debit side is bigger than the credit side. So this account has a debit balance. So you put it at the debit. If it has a credit balance, you put it at the credit side. Okay. Now you see in the trial balance, there are some summaries here. When you consider all the elements of accounting, all assets have debit balances. All expenses have debit balances. And capital has a credit balance. Liabilities and income also has credit balances. Okay. So this is your trial balance for you. Please, any question? Any question on the trial balance, what I just spoke about? Yes, Augustine, go ahead.
Sir, please, I don't get it.
Which part don't you get? Is it the arrangement or?
Sir, please, the trial balance.
Okay, so what did you hear from what I said?
So please, we're talking about the assets, the expenses. And you said that you said that if the BD, I heard that if the BD is more, is if you have the BD, so if the debit is more, then you credit, then you put it at the debit side. If the credit is more, you put it at the credit side. What I heard.
Professors, is that what I said? Or you are, what do you call, paraphrasing what I said? The point I made about the trial balance is that it is a summary of the account balances. We just went through how you balance an account. Okay? And you realize that when you balance an account, you can have a debit balance or a credit balance. You get a debit balance if the debit side is more than the credit side. So in such an account, your balance brought down or balance BD will be at the debit side, while the balance CD or balance carried down will be at the credit side. So I'm saying that for you to know whether an account has a debit balance or credit balance, you can use the balance BD to get it easily. So if the balance BD is at the debit, it means this account has a debit balance. But what if you don't see the BD or the CD? Then I'm saying use which side is bigger. So if the debit side is bigger than the credit side, then that account has a debit balance. If the credit side is more than the debit side, then that account has a credit balance. So these are ways you can use to determine whether an account has a debit balance or a credit balance. Now I'm saying that after you've determined these balances, you need to summarize them in a trial balance. And this is how a trial balance looks like. It has a title, and then one column for the name of the account, one column for the debits, and one column for the credit. So under the debit column, you put all the accounts that have debit balances. And then under the credit column, you put all the account that has credit balances. Okay, but I'm just sharing with you that in accounting, all assets would have what? Debit balances. All expenses would have debit balance. So when you are preparing your account, you check. For example, this is cash, and cash is an asset. And so you know that cash should have a debit balance as an asset, right? So all assets have debit balances. All expenses have debit balances. Capital, liabilities, and income have what? Credit balances. So if you are required to prepare the trial balance, what you do is you first need to balance your account. So like we started, we balance the cash, we balance the capital. Okay. If we are to extract the trial balance, what we have to do is to create that trial balance with the following columns. Okay, so let me create one here. So you first put the title, trial balance as at. Yeah. Okay. The title comes trial balance as at. For this question, I think the date was 31st March. So as at 31st March 2022, right? Then one column will take the name of the account, and the other one will take the debits, and the other will take the credit. Trying to create my trial balance. Okay. So the first column will take the name, the second one will take the debit, and the third one will take the credit. So I'm saying after you have balanced your account, you pick the first account. So this will be cash, right? So you write cash under the name of account. Then you check this cash account has a debit balance. Why? Because the BD or the balance brought down is at the debit side. So you are going to put the figure here under the debit column. Then you go to the next account, which is capital. You put in capital, and when you check capital account, the balance brought down is at the credit side. So in your trial balance, it will go under the credit column. So you do this for all the accounts that you have balanced. Okay, so here we have water. Water has no balance, right? There is no brought down. So we'll skip that one. Okay, come to purchases. Purchases has the brought down at the debit. So we put in purchases. And then that one is at the debit, 1,000. So you do for all the accounts that you have prepared. And then after you get the total, okay, we have not balanced all the accounts here, so we can't continue to get the balances. But when you balance all and bring them to your trial balance, at the end of the day, you get the total and the debit should be equal to the credit. If there is any difference, it means you have made an error somewhere, right? And you need to check and correct it. So this is how you prepare a trial balance. You can only prepare the trial balance after you have balanced the account. Okay, so Augustine, are you okay now or you are still confused? The rest of my professors, are you okay? Prof. Zoe, please, have you submitted your work? Prof. Zoe, I haven't seen your work yet. Okay, so do well to submit so that I can mark it. So dear professors, this is all about balancing of an account and extracting a trial balance. So most of the times when you are given a transaction or you are given transactions to record in the ledger account, they can add that you balance the account of and extract a trial balance. Okay. So if you have such a question, it means that you have to first of all record the transactions in the T account, do the debits and credits that we have done. You balance them off, then you extract your trial balance. Okay. So hopefully, God willing, Wednesday we'll solve one thing where we'll do the double entry, we'll balance the account and extract the trial balance. So I'll wait. If there are any questions, please let's hear any professor who has a question. Please, if you want me to go over any point, let me know. Okay. Does that mean you get everything that we have discussed today?
Yes, please.
Okay, sir, please, is it magic for the debit side to be equal to the credit? Sir, please, about the balancing. Yes. If you do your double entry correct, okay, and balance everything correctly, your trial balance should magically balance. The debit side should be equal to the credit side. There should be no difference. So if you do it and there is a difference, it means you have either made a mistake in debiting or crediting some of the accounts, or when you were balancing, maybe arithmetical errors. You added 2 to 3 to get 5, but in writing you wrote 6. Okay. So if there are no arithmetical errors, your trial balance should agree. The more reason why the purpose for preparing the trial balance or the uses of the trial balance. One is that it is used to check the arithmetical accuracy of entries made in the bookkeeper, made by the bookkeeper. So it's used to check whether you have not made any mistake. Because if you make mistakes, your trial balance will not agree. There will be a difference. Okay. And it also provides a list of balances that will be used to prepare the final account. Okay. There's any other question? So now it means all my professors can balance an account. Okay, Prof. Zoe has also submitted. All my professors can balance an account and also extract a trial balance. That's great. I'll mark the work. Okay, Josephine, go ahead.
Step, please. Can you explain the when one side the debit side doesn't have any amount there, like nothing there.
Okay.
And then the credit side has this.
So like this one, like the one we have here for the rent, right? The credit side has no entry, but the debit side has one entry. So for such an account, it's simple. If you repeat the total 1,000, 2,000, it's going to make the account look, awkward. So go through the steps. Total for each side. So you have 1,002 and 0 here, right? The difference is 1,002. You put the difference at the lesser side, right? So this 1,002, we put it on the credit side because the credit side is the lesser side. Then we call it balance CD or balance carried down, using the closing date 31st March 2022. Okay. Ordinarily, you would have come down to show the total and underline, but I'm saying you need to avoid that, okay, since that will be a repetition. So you underline the figure twice and you move on. Okay. Like this. Then your brought down will come. Always remember to bring your brought down, right? Balance brought down. 1,200. Then you use the opening date of the next period. So from 31st March, we go to 1st April 2022. So that's when you see only one entry in the account. If you look at the sales like this, the sales is also having how many? 1, 2, 3, right? 3 entries here, none here. So you go through the process, add the totals. Here will be 0, here will be 280, that's 470, right? So if you find the difference between the totals, the difference will be 470. So the 470 is what you put here as your balance carry down using the closing date 31st March 2022. Then this time you have to put in the total 470, right? On both sides, 470, and underline it. Okay, then you do same with this one. Then you bring your carry down, that will come here. 1st April 2022, balance brought down 470. So Prof. Josephine, that's how you go about it. Yes, Austin Akoli.
That is, I was asking that no matter what, the balance carry down, balance.
No matter what, please come again. No matter.
No matter apart from the debit and the credit being the same, no matter what, there should be balance and the same.
Oh, I'm struggling to hear him clearly. If any of you heard what he said, you can repeat for me to address it. I'm hearing he said no matter what, the carry down brought down, but okay. So you see the brought down and the carry down. Austin, can you type in the chat if possible? I'm struggling to hear you clearly. Okay. Okay, so please just follow the steps given when you want to balance an account. First, you need a total on both sides. Second, you find the difference between these two totals you have calculated. And then you put that difference at the smaller side and call it balance carry down. Okay. Then you move on to put in your total and draw the lines, okay, like I've been drawing. Then you bring your carry down to the opposite side as brought down. Okay. Okay, I think Austin has typed. So Austin says, I was asking if no matter what, there should be a brought down and carry down apart from the credit and debit side being the same. Yes, so you saw the example in Walker's account, right? In Walker's account, there was no difference because the debit side was 1,400, the credit side was 1,400. So this account would have no balance. So you won't see any brought down, carry down, right? But if there is a difference in the two sides, then there should be a carry down, brought down. I think that's what Austin wanted to verify. So I hope it's clear now. Okay, so when you find the totals and then the debit is equal to the credit, then that account has no balance or the balance is zero, right? So we don't put any carry down, brought down because we don't carry down zero balances. Okay. Thank you for the questions. Any other? Okay, Professor. So yes, Josephine.
So at least, are you saying if maybe the debit side is 1,400 and the credit side is 1,400, you're not going to do anything to it?
So see, we did an example in Walker's account, right? The debit was 1,400 and the credit was 1,400. So we'll just put in the totals and we drew the total lines. That's all. There is no carry down, there is no brought down, right? So that's how you just put in the totals, draw the total lines, and you move on to the next account if the two sides are equal.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you too. Okay, so professors, on that note, I believe that we are comfortable with balancing of an account and extracting the travel. So hopefully Wednesday we'll take a big question, pass the double entry, balance of the account, and extract a trial balance. Thank you very much for making it up for today. think the test disorganized some of you, but thankfully all of you have submitted. I owe you lots of marking. I will do them for you. Okay, please don't delete any. Some of you have set your WhatsApp timers to disappear some disappearing messages. Please, I beg you, change those settings so that I can have access to the document you share with me, mark and share with you as well. Okay, so thank you very much for making it out for class. And I'll see you when I see you. Have a good afternoon.